For centuries, Europe was one of the center for industrial competitiveness. Now, do you think that Europe is losing that industrial competitive edge when you look at the global scenario?
No, I don't think so.
Christoph, thank you so much for talking to 𝙎𝙬𝙞𝙨𝙈𝙀𝙈 update. Can you say a little bit about Swissmem's the key role in navigating this association in this current geopolitical condition?
Swissmem, as you may know, is one of the sponsoring partners here of this exhibition and 𝙎𝙬𝙞𝙨𝙈, because grinding technology for the Swiss machine tool manufacturers is one of the strongholds technology-wise. We are having here like 56 Swiss companies and brands exhibiting at GrindingHub 2026 in Stuttgart. We have feeling that slowly but surely market is taking on the move. And so you were asking, so how are we doing? We from Swissmem, is the largest industrial association in Switzerland, the Association of the Tech Industries, as we call it. So machine tools is one of the industry sectors in looking after strongest industry sector still, Swiss tech industries. And we are trying to support our members in the current situation by helping them, especially also internationally, because Swiss machine tool production is far too big as the big countries, just as you may know. It's just a fraction of one of the Indian states. This is really small. So this is also the reason why roughly 85% of the total machine tools production in Switzerland is normally export. And the same is of course true for anything in grinding technology. There maybe 1-2% more stay in Switzerland, because the production industry in Switzerland is very focused on high precision and high quality of finish production. We're trying to help our industry to come back on that, because of this big export percentage, especially also. That's also one of the reasons if you look up here, Germany, not that far, as you know, from Switzerland. However, it's abroad. So, and has been one of the traditional strong markets and strongholds for Swiss manufacturers. So we know in the past like 2-3 years, Germany is a bit of a not so easy market. We feel as now slowly but surely to change again, and it's for us still, and you can see that on the number of exhibitors, very important. But other markets, like we heard now, just right now here at the press meetings, like the Americas, GrindingHub Americas 2027 in May, we are also there. We are the sponsoring partner of the exhibition. And after just coming back from Shanghai, from CCMC, which was a very exciting show. There we had a large Swiss pavilion, and we organized a large pavilion. We organized 2,300 square meters, and also about 50 companies. Just a week before, it was Syntos in South Korea, in Seoul. There we had, there were about 30 Swiss companies. So that's where we really try to support, especially also small and medium enterprises, to make it more easy for them to get into, maybe sometimes new, sometimes existing, but foreign markets, sometimes far away, sometimes.
What kind of barriers you see to have such presence in India?
Firstly, it is to say that India, of course, is a huge potential market for the manufacturing technology. It has been already for nearly ages. I mean, I soon will celebrate my 20th anniversary with Swissmem, but there was a life before association, and in this life, I was also nearly selling for nearly also 20 years capital goods international, also in India. India is going to come. And you know what? I fully subscribe to that. The question is just, okay, and when is it really coming to say, okay, order book, order entry in these companies' books first in India? There we are still, I think many companies are still struggling. Sometimes for internal or their own reasons. Sometimes for some reasons which, well, either we are not so used to the circumstances in India, or sometimes maybe the tradition or the way the business is done in India. And that, especially also from the large exhibitions, this can be really challenging. We have been trying now 4, 5, 6 years to somehow organize a good business model to bring a Swiss pavilion to Intex in Bangalore. It's not so easy. So we still trying, also maybe 27, maybe we can make it happen, start small, on bigger, but it is sometimes really a challenge. But really, as you mentioned, I mean, there is also, since October last year, we have a free trade agreement between Switzerland and India in the place. So it should really facilitate mutual trade and exchange. You need to be there. And if organizations, governments in India actually could try to boost this, I think it would be beneficial for both sides.
For centuries, Europe was one of the center for industrial competitiveness. Now, do you think that Europe is losing that industrial competitive urge when you look at the global scenario?
No, I don't think so, because it has always been the case that crises, they always instigate and stir up innovation or a new solution, new approaches. And I think that's such kind of a phase we're really going through. And in many discussions that you may also hold here on the floor, you will hear that they actually struggle. So you feel this energy actually, and people, and they want to do something, and they're about to do something. They do not yet. I mean, nobody has really, find the golden coin. So, and I think there's so many good minds working on a good task, and something will come out. But also, if I would know where it is, of course I would run for that. But there are applications in each around. Also, if you look on a global scale, I mean, think of defense, think of medical technology, think of humanoid robotics. There's a lot of need for new or adapted or additional production facilities. And here we are. I mean, the machine tools, machine tools, modern machine, you touch anything, everywhere is somewhere at a certain stage the machine tool is involved.
What kind of innovation efforts you do, or what are the trends you see among your members?
I mean, the big work and the real innovations, they are done by the companies. Yeah. We are trying to support the company at best what we can do, and this is mainly in trying to shape their environment and especially their interfaces with the government, the general situation issues, as conducive as possible. That's actually our biggest work to do, and there we face enough of challenges also because as in every country you have a political spectre which is shaping your cup. In Switzerland there is a big part of the population who sometimes seem like they will not know where their money they spend every day is actually coming from. With all these things with the tariffs and taxes and whatever, or then buy first, whatever. For me, I always wonder whether these people never really properly see that actually together that works. When we suddenly fall in a segregation, we will just take one step back after the other.
Yeah, we also see a lot of cooperation among the peers. How do you see the strategic alliances and partnerships in this evolving market for your members?
Our sector has been living for ages, and I feel there's also a lot of new ideas come also because of the structure where it comes from, and that's a small or medium enterprise based structure where it comes from. So I do not believe that a general clumping together is going to bring our machine tool sector much further. Yes, we need some strong big ones, sure, but I don't think it's a typical industry for having like 3 dozens of big ones and only 5 small ones. I think it is rather the other way around. And so we have usually, where we support alliance of working together, we have institutes at universities or universities of applied sciences where we try to have a body to accelerate common findings, accelerate to bring these common findings into reality. Also supporting time to market, but especially also technology, research to market, and there we encourage and we support that. Companies, we try to identify the companies and to find groups which kind of belong together, and then that they can work more targeted, supported by research bodies and so on, to create results, innovative results. So in a way, yes, work together, but not necessarily as an alliance, but work together and have results which in all of them, of this group, can use. Of course, that would be, this is a field which could and should be further developed. And there are some examples, especially also with Indian firms in Europe. And I think this is something which should be further explored and find the matching ends. But for that also you need to have a good contact, you need to exchange, and we need to have the climate where such an exchange can happen. But this, we completely support free trade agreements. That's also why we are so happy that free trade agreement between Switzerland and India happened after 16 years of negotiations. But well, hey, we arrived at the end, you know. I think we can say in final stages of an updated free trade agreement with China, which is very important, and also in this tradition. This is nothing against the United States or whatever. So we feel we should really have there a level playing field, and if a country is capable of buying a lot of stuff from other countries, from foreign lands, I feel this is not a sign of or a bad sign. Actually, it is a sign of power, a sign of power, because they can afford. They can actually get all this. They can choose what I get from where. You know, whether I get the mango from Pune or I get the Ferrero. But well, in Switzerland, that's a question of money. You know.
Already globally, there is a strong listening about Swiss-made products, and everybody believes that, you know, precision comes with Swiss-made. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable inputs.
Yeah.